All right, here we are. Looks like we have Vader 16 in the match this time for Law of 8. St. Panzer is here as well. I don't see a Zaire. Obviously, he's Australian. Sorry, I have insight to the Law of 8 clan, but a Zaire is Australian, so he is not here. And yeah, I'm not sure who they'll have calling. Probably HM8K420, maybe Curious Dan. You never know. I'm not 100% sure how they've got the selection process going here. I know you can't deselect tanks. All right, Macy would like to say something to the group here.
Fire!
Macy likes fire. Okay, just sit down, okay? Let's watch some tanks, okay? I'm not going to play. We're just going to watch. It'll be fun. So we got Faust with a bit heavier lineup by the looks of it. IS-3, T-32, T-32 again. It's a good tank. We got some lightweights out of the Law of 8. 3 lightweights and a Bulldog LTTB, and then 2 T-32s. Wow, I wonder what the strategy there is. Maybe a 5-man flank push? Who knows? Let's just let it play out. 5-man flank push, 2 guys stay back. Who knows? Who knows? This is a big map. I've never scrimmed on this map, let alone done a tournament on it. I'm sort of curious to see how, you know, we've watched 2 matches on it already. The team that stayed together won 1 and then lost 1. The teams so it's tough. Yeah, it's just really tough. You can't predict it, man. I can't predict it. Apparently they keep changing the settings of the room. Let's launch. There we go. Arctic Region Snow, Game 1. Law of 8 versus Faust. Let's see what you're made of, bro. Oops. Like I said before, fairly light lineup for Law of 8, fairly heavy lineup for Faust. If you're going to go light tanks, you got to utilize them properly. We got Law of 8 splitting up in different directions. They seem to know what they're doing. They're fairly decisive here. The way they've split, they got 3 lights going north and a couple headed south. Yeah, the T-32, T-32 in the back. These guys are, yeah, they're well on their way up north there. They're going to get it behind that rock and get kind of hauled down up there. Okay. You get the AKA cuck. Nice. Alright, so we got Faust coming across the field pretty quick here. Led by the 5100. Kind of dangerous. You don't want to get him taking too many hits off the start, but he's got good cover there. Looks like Law of 8's going with the spot them and then counterattack strategy. Maybe it's a makeshift turtle. Weird to do that with light tanks, but probably spot them and then push for the cap. That's light tanks. I mean, you don't really have much option. These Faust guys now look who's decisive. We got an IS-3 and a T-32 headed right in on this Bulldog. He's in trouble. He's falling back. He's running. So they've spotted that IS-3. They're falling back. How are you going to react now? All right, you got the heavy armor rolling right up on you. What's the plan? Looks like they're going with some hull down. haul down maneuvers here. This isn't a very good view for this. Yeah, you got 3 lightweights that are kind of hauled down. The 32s are sitting back, and they're going to let them come up that hill and try to make a kill fest out of it. Okay. And then they're going to send the Bulldog LTTB are going to hold up there. Okay. Spot the flank. Make sure nobody's coming behind. 32s are really deadly haul down, especially at that range, and IS-3 is never going to pick that hatch off, at least not consistently, at any decent range, right? So IS-3 will bounce a bunch. Look at Jester here bouncing stuff. Trying to get the right view here for everybody, but it's kind of proving difficult. Yeah, they're focusing down Jester. He falls back, conserve his hit points. You got that IS-3 there in the back, and the 5100's falling back. Try to go find those other light tanks, and I'm sure they have all of the Law of 8 detected now, so they're doing a really good job of defending their hit points, though, and not really taking damage. It's really just that one IS-3 got picked up a little bit. Oh, starting to hit that 32 now, Tom Warp. I'm sorry, I can't settle on a view here. I want to see it all, but I guess these Law of 8 guys aren't moving, but it'd be nice to see. You get to see their hit points regardless. I like the new setup for this, by the way. On a side note, so we see what's going on here. Let's see how this develops with this 5100 down here and these 2 light tanks. So if these light tanks can push up behind the Law of 8 here, I guess I shouldn't speculate and just call what I'm seeing. I'm not a very good play-by-play guy. So these guys are falling back. Oh, they're trying to circle in that 5100. Could prove dangerous with that one. He's got the LTTB, really good tank. Gun depression a bit lacking. Here come these light tanks coming up behind. Here's what I was talking about just now. These 2 light tanks coming up behind. Bulldog and a 132. Not a fan of the 132. It shoots heat. Oh, and look at that play there, to have these lightweights come over and assist. Good call there. Ooh, he took a big one. Gotta get those autoloaders out though, right? Flirting with the water, flirting with the water. He took a hit for the other lightweight. That was a pretty good play by Dan there, if it was on purpose or not. Taking a shot for his teammate. Nice work, Curious Dan. Just a boy. Now, Law of 8's kind of stuck down low there with all their light tanks, but they do have a tank advantage right now, and they seem to be spreading the damage that they're receiving, so that's another key thing to look for. Keep guns in the game, right guys? Fire. Still have these IS-3s, and you never know with IS-3s. Kind of took that 131 out of it though. You know though, with the time left, only 100 seconds, 140. That's, if they can draw the battle out, we might be looking at a match on Corellia here. You got really low health tanks there. You're down your Bulldog to catch that 132. What do, right? It's a problem with playing too defensive. If the clock does run out, really sound strategy killed by the clock. Alright, so let's see if my prediction holds true. You've got there's 3 Law of 8 tanks here. You got the T-32, not much speed involved, versus you got an LTTB here, and then you've got this guy pushing in fairly aggressively in his lightweight HM8K against the WZ131 who's full health. All he's really got to do is... Oh, he's going to stay alive. He's hiding in the back. Good play by him. Good call on the caller to get him out of there. And we're off to Karelia for a draw. I'm not 100% sure who... I'm going to check here with the brass. All right, now here we come. We've got Law of 8 defending. They're kind of spreading out, and then you've got Faust here, and they are grouping up, all kind of on the same side. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's good. The T-32 might get left a little bit behind. Tom warp there. Maybe he can warp up there. I'll keep those down. You got 8 just hanging back there. They got their light tanks to spot. And like I said, the defending team has a huge advantage here because all they have to really do is spot this column of tanks and then run one of their light tanks the other direction. If you're planning strategies for your clan, you might want to consider leaving a tank back going the other way, just in case. Sorry about that. Had a bit of an itch. Yeah, you know, 7 minutes assault like this, there's already a minute and a half gone. You gotta push it if you're attacking. You can't just sit back and snipe. That's what I love about this competitive stuff. It's so counterintuitive. You don't really play it how you'd like to. It forces you into it, and I just, you know, get people out of their comfort zone, and it's amazing what you'll get them to do. By that I mean they'll perform well. You'll invent new things, new strategies, etc., etc. Lightweight's out front here trying to spot up 8, doing a pretty good job. And it looks like they're going to use these IS-3s and force Faust to come right in on him. Yeah, they're just hanging back. They're not even looking to trade damage right now. Just delay the fight as much as they can. And then a push like that. Okay, and then they drive right out into it. Oh, but looks like they had that planned. Kind of went from one bit of cover to the other. A couple commandos, these two. We got Hitman 510 here, or Steve, as he's going to get mad at me for calling him. Kind of put these IS-3s up here at first. Faust is not going to. They gotta. It's a race against the clock, honestly. Faust. Another lightweight. Oh, no, sorry. Just the one. My bad. Not known yet. He took down an IS-3. Good job. Damage. And here comes the push in from behind. The problem is there's a new tank. Now it is DMX Chaffee squaring off in the distance, and 54 lightweight going to help. Nope, he's not going to help because it's already over between the Chaffies. IS-3's kind of here by himself. T-32s and that IS-3 coming in. T-32, let's see how that plays out, trading damage. They're just gonna run. Now you can't necessarily just run because there's not enough time to get away. So I was saying before, the clock's really against you, but in that 1 minute it's over. They came in, they clipped him out. They left a lot of hit points on these two IS-3s here and the T-32. When they flanked around, they needed to eliminate tanks, right? So focus fire is really important. I know I've been drilling that same thing over and over, but watch the top clans, LNL, clans like that. Watch how they focus fire. It's amazing. That is a win for FAUST, so that's a very drawn out, but definitely a win for FAUST there. Wow. Let's see what's happening here. Galavi with their light tanks again. Just loving the mobility. Big map, not a bad plan. Can't go wrong with mobility on a big map. Looks like they're going to be leaving the LTT back, and then the T-32s again. Okay, kind of backfired on them last time, but you never know. Can't let that AMX Chaffee get away, or that. Sorry, it was a 131. Yeah, no 131 this time though. They got AMX Chaffee, lightweights, yeah. So it's the same strategy. Most, they put a light tank up in the tower to spot each other out. Nothing happening there. Light tanks watching the flank. And yeah, they gotta call them a heavies. Looks like FAUST is kind of hoping that 8 falls into a trap here, heading towards their base down low again. They've got kind of the advantage here, so it's not too big of a deal for FAUST. They can kind of sit back and afford to wait, and they get to pick defender attack again on Karelia in the event of a draw here. Really laid back attack here, 2 minutes into the match and not a shot fired in rage yet. Or not in rage, just a shot fired at all. Trying to wax poetic here with my commentary, and I'm failing miserably. It'd be nice to be able to hear what they're calling, but then again, you don't want to reveal their trade secrets. You've got a turtle happening here for FAUST. I wonder, that must be a common strategy. Both teams here seem to be turtling the north, although 8 is turtling the south as well. Maybe they're just happy to draw on this map and willing to roll the dice on an assault on Karelia. Ugh. Kind of trying to probe in with their light tanks. Look and see where FAUST is. They're all hiding in the back there. It's working good for them so far. 3 minutes in, no damage traded yet. Just that I'm aware of, yeah. Let's check out this side. Oh, shots fired. There we go. It is on. Just past the halfway point in the match, and everybody's full health. Didn't think I'd see that in a 754. Just playing the patience game. They're all trying to pen that jet. Oh, 54 lightweight there. Now there's some damage flying off. There you go. He's in trouble. He's pushing for the rock. Try to get some cover. Got himself out of trouble for now. We got more light tanks here for 8. The 32s are going to swing around north and try to support that side. They've identified a weak flank or what have you, and are trying to bring their 32s in. FAUST is more than happy to sit back and let the timer run down here. Might have waited too long to make their move if they're trying to be the aggressors here. Obviously not with those 32s, T-32s sitting in the back. Seems like everybody's fairly happy to just try to stay alive here and fight it out on the next map. Yeah, coming up on 1 minute left and no tanks lost so far. Nothing really going on here. Sorry about this, but just can't really. They're just sitting here waiting for the clock to run out. I mean, if you're thirsty, grab a drink now. Huh. Looks like FAUST is more than happy to just sit back and let this happen. And 8 seems like they were fairly content to do the same. No points for ties, guys. And looks like for the second match in a row, we are off to Karelia. Setup. We've got the Law of 8 guys kind of circling around. A pretty aggressive push by the AMX Chaffee. Get up there as quick as you can and get your damage in. Spot everybody and freeze them in place with that Chaffee. Not a bad strategy. And everybody hiding up in that same corner like 8 did. Hopefully it doesn't backfire on him like it did on Law of 8 in the last game. Sorry, I'm letting the old ADD kick in here. So we got those guys back there. We know they're there, so we'll watch the advance. And then what do we have here? We have ourselves a J Panther 2 driven by my man Vader 16. I like this though because the Law of 8 boys kind of sat back behind the rock and let FAUST get really close. Notice how the FAUST guys are kind of out there somewhat challenging. Like there's no free trip up to the rocks. They kind of making them work for it, although there is a pretty safe route right there that you're watching these guys drive right through. Anything too risky here by FAUST, and that J Panther 2 is going to hammer them. IS-3's peeking. Here comes the J Panther. You can just feel it. Or they're just too far away for him. Maybe could be a risky move. Leading the J Panther back, but what do you do, right? TD, OP. I love the speculation. It's just hard to do it by myself. Looks like another classic game of chicken we have going on here. Clock's really against the law of 8 guys here. Gotta make a push, but you know when to pick your moment and where to go. Tough. Especially with how well spread out these FAUST guys are. They got any advance that 8 does right now, they're in big trouble. You do have that J Panther sneaking around there. It's got a heck of a gun on it, and it's really fast. It's kind of overpowered, to be honest with you. And that's like swear words on World of Tanks. Nothing's overpowered, just good players, right? IS-3 kind of facing off against the J Panther. How's the J Panther sitting way back, trying to pick off that Chaffee. Lost the T-32. He's blocking for the other T-32, which is really low hit points. Lave taking a beating early here. Done is knocked out a Chaffee and kind of, oh, there's the IS-3. Okay, look at good job firing both sides. He's firing here. Blind Fate back into the fight here. That hurts. There's a lot of those chances right there. They just even it up 3-3. The same health left on everybody's tanks. Real bad bounce for him. Oh wow! Wow, Curious Dan putting a dagger in the back of the tank. Right view here. This is painful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. IS-3 facing off down there, and then this Vader finishes off Jester and his Blind Fate, and he's gonna get tailpiped by that J Panther 2 big time here. Unless the 110 blocks for him. Oh no! They cap the base. So that evens it up 1-1. Wow. Riveting display. Big game there. No. Tom Warp, nice. Alright, we're gonna go for over the F1 and watch this fight on the hill because there almost always is one. And here comes Law of 8. They got an AMX Chaffee, 54 lightweight. And looks like the light tanks on FAUST are gonna go wide with the Chaffee and spot the one line. Okay. Yeah, with the light tank advantage, they did the right move. You don't want to charge in there and lose your 2 tanks right off the bat, right? So that's good. We got this Chaffee. He can put some serious damage into the back of some of these tanks. Sorry, had Macy there interrupting me. She thinks it's hilarious. We got some good damage getting traded here. 54 lightweight somehow managed to get up there. I wasn't paying attention because of my little girl there, but How unprofessional. And they really quickly hammered that 54 lightweight out of there. Wow. It's kind of miscommitted by him, but Law of 8 saw that one and just pounced on him. This was a WCT 2 map, so I know Law of 8 has a lot of practice on this in the last tournament. I'll be playing into their advantage here, getting a lot of traffic. It's a problem if you're down the hill that T32. It's tough. You gotta get that IS-3 up there. Try to take this rock in the middle of the map here. If you're down like that in that T32, you can't use that gun depression and that turret to poke down like that. Here's the 5100 on the FAUST taking that push. Tremor Phil barely taken out Razor Ray. Here comes the 5100 right into the back of Vader. Ooh, two of them. Yeah, Vader's in trouble there. They're gonna definitely pull him out. Now he switches targets. That was a good move by Vader to get around that rock. Still though, that's some good damage by that 5100, but it might be too little too late. Didn't send him early enough. Wow. That went quick. He's just running for his life. I mean, they got two full health 54 lightweights and a full health IS-3 chasing him down. Wow. Good strategy by FAUST. That's a good push. Just he might have called it a little bit late. Needed to get around there a little sooner while he still had something to fight for there. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to push him around and have the other team come head on and just smash him. But that's the whole part of the game. It's a risk like that, right?
Pull back. We're in over our heads.
Maybe send that AMX Chaffee through town with that 5100. That's all. Alright, now got Law of 8 in there, same kind of setup. FAUST has gone with an RU-251 to try to beat them up the hill. It's a 3-on-3 light tank battle for the hill. They're both headed right into it. You got Herps out ahead. The AMX Chaffee for Law of 8 is coming back. And it looks like Herps is taking there. That too often, and blind fade is kind of hiding. No assistance coming. Is he loaded yet? Oh, that's bad news again. FAUST down 2 tier 8 like that. He's gonna finish off. Yeah, no. Yes, he did. Wow. Ooh, good move by Tremor Phil there. Finish. You got a bit of an advantage here for FAUST right now, early down low here. Looks like that 5100's reloading and wow. Oh, maybe he's not. AMX Chaffee back there, kind of sitting back to pick his moment, but I'm not going to tell people how to play, so I might as well. This bit of a stalemate here for the FAUST was coming out looking pretty good ahead here, and now they've been kind of bleeding away the hit points. They have an advantage here. You got the 5100 running around the other way. FAUST doesn't see it and hasn't taken full advantage yet. Kind of picking away on that T32 though. Chaffee's still sitting back, just kind of picking his time. Pretty even damage left between the four, and that's a gun out of the game for 8. Faust, huge advantage, 4-on-2 advantage right here. Do they capitalize right away? They don't have time for this. Especially because we know that there's a 5100 coming up behind him just to finish a few of them off. And he's spotted. Does the 32 see it? No. No, he doesn't. Ooh, big hit. Big hit for HM8K. And he's, oh man, knocks that 32 out. Here comes the IS-3 next. Should have took the IS-3 first. Oh, what a finish by HM. Wow. It looked like Faust had them on the ropes. That flank move by HM K420 might have saved the day. Wow, what looked like a overtime for sure turns into a Law of 8 win there. Wow. Not quite as decisive as their first match, but still pretty fun tanks to watch there, guys. Thanks a lot for the entertainment.